Hi, we're Ralph and Lonnie D'Amicus, and we'd like to talk to you for a minute about the work that we do in Feng Shui. You know, we've been astrologers since 1972, but when we met in 1994, we expanded our horizons into the area of what is really spatial astrology. And it's been called many things in different cultures, you know, Vastu Shastra and medicine wheel, feng shui, geomancy. But we, very early on, over a cup of coffee and a Mickey Mouse notepad, discovered and innovated the direct connection between the astrological chart and the Bagua map.
Yes.
And it really turned the feng shui community on its head. And we find it so useful and valuable. And we taught workshops in this to clients for many, many years. But it's just an invaluable tool that we still use all the time in our own life. And that's really the litmus test, isn't it? And with our consulting with people.
We can't claim to do any kind of real traditional version of feng shui, and we're not going to show up and suggest that you put, little mirrors and chimes and crystals every place as your solutions. Our approach is much more, I'd hate to use the word, but it's true, holistic. We look at the overall picture of the space. We look at the location. We look at the charts of the people themselves. How are they programmed? How are they programmed at birth by their own chart in terms of their directions? And then we look a great deal at the ergonomics. Before we got into this, we both had backgrounds, as Lonnie was an efficiency expert and I was an ergonomic designer. So we look extensively at that because, you can have great feng shui, but if you've got lousy ergonomics, you're going to have pain.
Well, and I think one of the things that struck us early on was the limitation of the acceptance of feng shui for people who were not familiar with or didn't want to bring an Asian flavor or lifestyle into their personal home and or business, for that matter. And so we realized that we had to distill everything down to the intent. What was the cure meant to change in an environment? And that brings you to the fact that the most important energy in any space when you're manipulating this space is human energy. And we bring that in the door, then we paint the space, and then we have to live with it. And so that's why both the Euro Bagua, for lack of a better term for it, and these energy maps that are made from an astrological chart called a local space chart, really helps to personalize and fine-tune things for our clients who, again, are all over the world. And we used to travel a lot more, but that doesn't stop us. We utilize things like map dowsing and Zoom and instead of having the client send us videos now, they can just hold up their computer and walk around their space, or their phone. So the technology really makes this accessible for everyone.
Yeah, in fact, there's nothing like GPS maps that will show you where the house is or where the office or the building is for us to get a sense of what is in the area and what's affecting it. And then people can send us a series of photos right from their phone. It's gotten incredibly easy. If they want to send us a floor plan, that's great. Many times floor plans are available from, the architect or from the builder. And then once again, as Lonnie said, during the consultation, they can pick up their computer and turn it around and show us what they're looking at. It's become incredibly effective.
I do like those little hand-drawn floor plans, though, with the little socks hanging out of the hamper.
That's true.
Because it gives you an insight into, where the person is in their development or their, especially if their issue is clutter in their house,
Right, yes.
and that, so that they tell on themselves. They reveal the secrets of what is holding them back in their own drawings. So that can be fun as an adjunct to all these other things that we get.
Well, it definitely tells them it tells us what they are focusing on. Because
Exactly.
It's like that they make certain things bigger, which are not that much bigger, but it matters to them. when do you need good feng shui? When do you need better geomancy? When do you need these types of improvements on the ergonomics? Well, when your life isn't going smoothly, when you're not getting to where you want to go. Because one of the truisms you do find in environmental design, environmental healing, is that your environment typically supports who you were more than it is supporting who you currently are. And
Or who
definitely
you
more.
want to be.
Exactly.
Right.
Where do you want to go to? And how are you going to get your environment to support that?
So that leads me to one of my, adages that I say, there's no such thing as having been feng shuied or finding the perfect feng shui. Because like Ralph says, it can keep you stuck in a place when you're ready to move on. And so a lot of times we do repeat fine-tunements, refinements, for our clients as they move along in their process. Or some of the fun projects that we get involved in is house hunts. People will give us a quick floor plan for a house or a location, and we'll look on the map and we'll map DAOs for hidden water or hidden animal pathways or things like that and say, next. Because then they don't have to work,
Or place a contract, place a bid soon because this is a gem.
So it's very interesting, the varied projects that we've been involved with. In fact, I love that Hotel Eclat project that we stumbled onto in Beijing, which was very telling from a East-West perspective.
Yeah, but they very much valued what we had to say.
Yeah, that's a story for another time.
Yes. So when you're looking at what it is in your life you want to improve, do you need improvement in your relationships? Do you need to open up the door to relationships? Love is always important. If money is not flowing well in your life, and your love and money are always important, well, where is that? How are you programming your space for that? Remember, you're programming your space, and you've programmed it, and now it can hold you back. Now you want to make sure that it's evolving as your needs are evolving. So those are the times you really want to give us a call and set up an appointment.
Again, it's recorded.
Yes.
So you don't have to take all kinds of notes. If we're on site, though, remember our days with the Post-it notes on the walls?
Post-it notes all over the place, yes. But
that was really fun. We even have clients now who, while they're recording, they're walking around with their phone and they're putting their own Post-it notes up. So
we mark up the floor plans, so we send you all the materials all marked up so you know what to work with. Because remember, you're going to be going and you're going to be moving the furniture. You're probably going to be doing some shopping. You always say Feng Shui is a great art because there's very few arts that encourage you to go shopping at a certain point. And Feng Shui is unique in that. Well, kind of unique. But you want to make sure you have an idea of what it is you want to improve. Don't just come and say, oh, I just want better Feng Shui. No, what parts of your life, how do you want your life to be better? How do you want to be better?
And if it's not broken, don't fix it because it will change.
It will change.
So come see us at Space and Time for the space part of the Space and Time. spaceandtime.com.